Hey everybody, welcome to a Brilliant Business podcast. My name is Nick Bryant and I'm here today with Suzi Mitchell from Tailor-Made Dreams. How are you, Suzi?
I'm great, Nick, thank you.
Good to see you. So Tailor-Made Dreams enables children with life-limiting illnesses to achieve their dreams. And Suzi's charity does an amazing job to support that. She's got a very inspiring story from how it came about. So what we do with Brilliant Businesses, as we know, is we always start off by telling the story about how everything came about. So if you could start off with that, Suzi, that'd be great. Thank you.
Sure, yeah. Well, Tailor-Made Dreams came about, set up, inspired and in memory of my son Taylor, who sadly passed away in 2011. And how that came about initially was the fact that we sat and watched the film The Bucket List, which is a film about two cancer patients that decide to write their own bucket list and achieve those things before they passed away. Taylor had already said to me before that if he was ever told that he was, if I was ever told that he was going to pass away, then not to tell him, because he, in his words, he never wanted to give up.
Yeah.
And he never did. Actually, he was fighting right to the end. So we were watching the film The Bucket List, and I asked Taylor if he'd like to write his own bucket list, and he said that he did. Two wonderful friends of mine, Julie and Trudy, raised lots of money so that Taylor could tick off most of the things on his list. And it was at that time that I kind of knew that in the future I would set up a charity as Taylor's legacy, because I'd been informed that he'd only got around 2 years to live at that point.
Right.
So it was something that I knew I was going to create in the future. And the experiences that we had as a family really held us together at a time where we felt like we wanted to fall apart, of course. Sure. You know, a tragic, inconceivable situation to be in.
Yeah.
So when sadly Tay passed in 2011, first of all I went to work at the school that supported him for 6 months, and then after that I decided, okay, let's get this thing done.
Yeah.
So I went to see a friend of mine, Amanda, who worked in the charity sector, and she gave me a big pile of books to take away and read, which was like reading Japanese to somebody that does no charity. And then I asked her for some more support, and she helped me get the paperwork together for the charity. Local businessman came on board, Shane Armstrong and his business partner Paul Wilcox. They were amazing, financially and practically, and donated £20,000
Wow.
to help us buy a wheelchair access vehicle, which is
Wow.
fantastic. So yeah, we got the paperwork put together. We became a registered charity in 2014, which was a year quicker than what was expected. And yeah, we've been going for the past 6 years.
Incredible journey, and that was what I was going to ask. You know, what the timescale of that? But 2014, so 6 years ago, you've been
6 years, yeah.
6 years strong. That's really cool. I guess one of the things which we need to talk about, which is happening right now, is COVID, and how you've got through that, and some of the probably the new things you've had to adapt to get through that, and how did you get through that?
Yeah,
it's been really hard for charities.
Really hard for charities, really hard for everybody, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's a incredibly difficult, challenging time for everybody. I mean, initially, I guess we had a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, and we handed notice into our officers because we just had no idea about where funds may come from, and the regular funds that were coming in, would they stop?
Yeah.
Obviously, you couldn't do outside events, you can't do bucket collections, you can't work with the community, work with the schools, go into workplaces. So everything overnight just seemed, oh gosh, really, really, really worrying.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we've been okay, and we've been supported by our loyal followers, and particularly our kind of corporates. One of our main sponsors, Children's Salon, not only help financially, but they help practically. TM Recruits, Host My Office, Pure Print. There's so many companies out there that have been really supportive through this time. I guess we decided that we'd put more effort into grant and trust applications, because what we did, the first steps that we took, were we set up the food and hygiene support packs for families, because obviously they're already shielding their unwell children. And I had a phone call just as COVID hit from a father who'd been desperately looking for baby wipes, and he'd been to all the supermarkets in Tunbridge Wells and couldn't find any. It was when everybody was stockpiling food and everything. And he was desperate on the phone saying, he hasn't got anything to help with his son. And his son's 15, doubly incontinent, and as you can appreciate, a very, very difficult position to be in. Sure. So it was at that point that we had a discussion, and with the board's approval, I put in place the food and hygiene support packs, and we were delivering 200 a month from mid-March to mid-September when lockdown ceased. So as well as doing the ordinary services, we had that on top. So we were able to dip into some grant and trust applications funds to be able to kind of help with that.
That was really good. I remember seeing pictures on your Facebook page of you climbing out the back of a van with these packs out, literally out in the streets, delivering them to the people, which was really sweet, really good.
We had great corporate support as well there. Actually, we had a few companies come on board as volunteers to
really
So HR, Forest HR, IQ for Business, they came up, Children's Salon again came up and helped with the delivery, because as you can appreciate, we cover the southeast of England, so Kent, East Sussex, West Sussex and Surrey, so that's a lot of miles. We wrecked up about 7,000 miles in that period.
That's good work, great work. So how can other corporates help you? What other local businesses can do? Obviously, fundraising and things like that, but what can they do?
Well, we are actually about to launch a corporate sponsorship package called the Titanium Circle, which is a 4-level sponsorship package, which starts at £50 a month. And you can pick whichever level you'd like to support. Okay. So that's coming out in November.
Details on your website in November? Or?
There absolutely will be, and there'll be things on the Facebook and Instagram. And if anybody's interested, even as an individual, actually, they don't have to be a big company. If they're one man, one woman business, they can still get in contact, and they will get benefits from supporting the charity as well. So it's a dual kind of support. Okay, that's good. And just going back to the children and what you do for them in that moment, on that difficult time. Obviously, the bucket list is brilliant, and there's so much they can get from that. But you do other stuff as well, right? It's not just the bucket list. Yeah, absolutely. I think people do think that the charity is just about bucket list wishes, and obviously that's an incredibly important part of the charity, because we want to help children and families create precious memories for the future, and that's what the bucket lists are about, to bring some light in the darkness and to, bring some pleasure in difficult times. But we on reflection from my own personal experience, the services have developed from that, really. So we source and financially support counselling for the nuclear family, so the parents, primary givers, and the siblings. We also source and financially support holistic therapy for the family as well, to give them some respite from the incredibly difficult situation that they're in. We now do medical travel grants, which we were due to bring out in May, but we brought forward due to COVID. So that's to help families take their children to hospital appointments, essential hospital appointments. Getting to these hospital appointments are very expensive, because they're generally in central London. They're generally peak times, so you've got parking, plus the added, you have to buy food and things like this. So that's to help with the financial pressures there. We gift medical sheepskin fleeces to children, which help with the pressure sores when they're bedridden for long periods of time. We do family portraits, so that the family have a precious kind of keepsake, and bring some memories from that.
I mean, I suspect you'd do anything that they ask, really. Not as much as you can, and you're able to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have our specific services, but if they need something and we don't provide that service, then we'll help them to find that service if we possibly can.
Yeah.
One of the other services that we do is after the sad loss of a child, we gift the family a silver dragonfly pendant with the child's name engraved on the back.
Right. Yeah.
So there are different kind of threads of services that we provide for the family.
Because I think I thought this before when we spoke. It must be so tough for the children to come up with an idea of what they want, because they've probably got a lot of turmoil in their heads, and how they think. Right, what do I actually want? How can I think this? So that must be a tremendous support that you can actually go to them and say, look, we can do this, or we can do this, or we can do that, and maybe help them come up with some ideas about how what they can do.
Yeah,
that's supportive in itself, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some children do find it very difficult, and then other children are kind of bursting
with
exactly
ideas.
They know exactly what they want, which is lovely. But sometimes you do have to help the children.
Yeah.
That a lot of the kids want to meet their sporting heroes and things like that. So we've had one little chap meet Man United. Well, actually, two little boys. We've met Manchester United team. We've had Tottenham team. We've had the Wasps. We've had the Harlequins.
Yeah.
Taylor himself actually met David Beckham, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
So the children have got all different variety of dreams, and not anyone is the same. I mean, for instance, I went to see one young chap, and he wanted bubble wrap, and what do you buy a roll of bubble wrap and that?
It feels like that's not enough, doesn't it?
No, so it's kind of, but that's what he wanted. So we had to think about that, and we ended up buying 6 bubble wrap suits because he was one of 2 sets of twins, and the family had a bubble popping party. So that in itself fulfilled one of his wishes, but within that it created some great memories for the family, which I know that they cherish today.
I didn't know those suits existed. Did you, before you looked into that? You must have found out.
No, we didn't actually. It was one of our wonderful volunteers, actually, a former trustee, and she looks after our bookkeeping as well, Claire Armstrong. She looked online and found them on Amazon. So it was a good find, that one. Yeah.
You also did one the other day where I remember you said that, which is probably high up on the list of a lot of children, is going to Disneyland, and of course they can't go right now. So you took Disneyland to them, right? Somehow.
Well, this is what's happening at the moment.
Right,
We just one our recent little one. She's only 7, and very poorly, and she wanted to go to Disney. We managed to get one family to get to Disney just before lockdown in France, so they were able to go in August. He's sadly since passed, which is really sad, because I worked with him for just over a year. We just got a new little girl who's 7, and she wanted to go to Disney, so we looked into it, and unfortunately we're not able to do that at the moment, so we've decided to take Disney to her. On Saturday, she received lots of goodies through the post. Lovely. And we're planning a party at home to bring Elsa through the window and all those kinds of things.
Lovely, very good. Now, you've got a text and donate system going on where people can just text and obviously donate. In a minute, we can go through that, and you can talk about the codes that people use. But I know you wanted some thanks some people for their support.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a very tricky time over the past 6 months, and we've had some great support from all our corporates, and it's so difficult to thank everybody.
Yeah.
But I've got to reiterate again that Children's Salon have been outstanding. Some members of my BNI group have, stepped up and been fantastic as well. TM Recruits, Tunbridge Wells, Host My Office. People and Places Architect, Abacus Construction Products. I mean, I could go on, and I wouldn't want to kind of upset people, because there are so many, and I appreciate every single one of them. And those monthly donations really, really do make a difference, because at least we can start with something and build from there.
Yeah.
It gives us a guaranteed income, which is exactly what we need.
Yeah. And anyone that wants to support Suzi and the charity by doing that, they can just go onto your website, and there's a page on there where they can just fill out the forms and send you some money, right?
Yeah, they can donate through the website, which is www.tailormadedreams.org.uk.
Yeah.
Or we've got a text donate for a one-off donation, which is text TMD Wish, £5 or any amount you wish, up to £40, to 70085.
Okay.
If you'd like to become a monthly Dream Maker donator and give us £10 a month or any amount you wish, then you can text Dragonfly, the amount you'd like to give, to, again, 70085.
Okay.
And we'd very much appreciate that.
Brilliant. Well, Suzi, thank you for coming in today and sharing your story and what Tailor Made Dreams are doing. It's amazing, and it always touches my heart every time I talk to you. I will leave those text codes on the bottom of this podcast and this YouTube video so people can see that. And again, thank you for joining us. And I hope everyone likes what we're doing. And please subscribe to our channel. And we'll probably speak to you again in another 6 months or something like that. Suzi, see how you're getting on. It's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Nick.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.